This is the Young Entrepreneur Project.
What is going on today, guys? I'm Kylan.
I'm Kolton.
And this is the Young Entrepreneur Project,
Episode 4.
and we are live on Instagram from a park somewhere in Seattle, Washington, and we just found it, and it's great. This is going to be cool.
Trying to give you guys something a little different from the front of the car.
Even though that's fun, that's unique, but this is probably more your style.
Yeah. If it's too noisy here, we'll do it back in the car again next time.
Yeah,
Until we get the office set up.
we're not going to know until afterwards, so if it's too loud on live, will you guys say something so that we can move you closer? And yeah, other than that, welcome to the podcast. Today's topic is naysayers.
Yeah. How to overcome adversity.
Adversity is unbelievably difficult to overcome, especially as an entrepreneur, because everyone wants you to conform to what they're doing.
I think
everyone.
Should we talk about our experience
Yeah,
with it last night?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
All right.
go for it. Dive in.
So me and Kylan, just last night, we're having a conversation about what we're doing with the podcast, what we're doing with our business, with an older, what are they to us?
Mentors.
We're kind of consulting with them at the time. I think because of age, they just completely 2 generations above us in age. I just think that gap is what really causes the disconnected perspective. I think that's what it really comes down to with anything, is a lack of perspective with what you're doing or otherwise.
Well, I think it's hard to have perspective on something. To put it into context, we were talking about how social media has become a powerhouse for marketing. And so to put it into perspective, we were talking to an older crowd that doesn't use social media. They had no idea the reach and the potential that social media provides and how it can be a long-lasting source of revenue for a lot of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of sparked the topic today for fighting adversity, because we did get a lot of pushback from those mentors. And
Yeah, and this is a group of people who have, they're well tenured in business. They have plenty of experience, but the disconnect really was just the lack of understanding on social. They use the internet maybe an hour tops every 3 days for email or otherwise, and they don't have any social media accounts, and so I think it's really hard, because anyone who's used social, which, if you're a millennial, you've been using it probably since you were 13, and so, you have the best understanding of it out of anyone, and so if you don't really know how it works, trying to explain it is so difficult, and trying to explain the value to something someone has no understanding of is very difficult.
regardless of what it is, people always seem to have an opinion on what you should be doing. You notice that?
Yeah.
So like when I started making stock picks that were exponentially better than, and they exponentially get better, and we won't get into numbers, but as my income started to progress through my entrepreneurship, it seemed like everybody had an opinion on where I should be spending my money.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite comments are, you should invest in XYZ. And I go, I'm trading stocks. Like, wouldn't I know what to invest in more than you would know what to invest in? So I don't understand why people think that they are entitled to tell you what to do in your life. I think even people that have the best intentions, you can't listen to them if they're not where you want to be.
Yep.
Right? Like, if you want to be a social media celebrity per se, why would you take advice from someone who isn't a social media celebrity? It doesn't, on the topic of being social media celebrity, there's not, if you don't share a common goal, or you aren't sharing experience, I think it's really irrelevant.
Absolutely. And I think it's really easy for people to make an assumption or jump to a conclusion about something that they have no perspective on. I mean, there were multiple times throughout the conversation yesterday where we were in the midst of trying to explain it, and it was just, okay, we have the full understanding now, and there was no understanding.
It wasn't a certified debate per se. It was definitely more of an argument.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But there was no winner. Nobody left winning. Everyone left kind of with the same lack of understanding.
Same original opinion on each side.
Right. So, that led us to today's talking about adversity. So, things that I do to overcome adversity. The first thing that I do is I set goals that are, just outside of my reach so that I feel challenged to achieve those goals. But at the same time, they're not unrealistic to the point where I don't think that I'll ever actually get there. Just enough that I have to hustle a little harder than everybody else to achieve the goals. And I think that having a vision helps you overcome adversity a lot.
The way I overcome adversity is I'm so focused on my goals, I don't have time to listen to adversity. I just don't have the time to do it.
Right, you can't let somebody distract from your focus. If your focus is that you want to spend an extra 6 hours a day building your business, you can't let someone take 3 hours of your day away to tell you that you're wrong. You need to just be spending that time focusing on your business and building your brand.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my number one way to overcome adversity. I started with number one, and I apologize, but that's definitely the leading way for me to overcome adversity.
Yeah, I feel like adversity is a distraction. I feel like anyone that's being negative towards your goals and what you're trying to accomplish it's just a distraction. It's just it's a barricade you have to get over. And
I think just like everybody has an opinion, I think that everyone wants to achieve the same level of success. Like, everyone wants to actually be equally as well off. There's just people like us and like you people watching that want to achieve more than what is, expected,
mm-hmm.
or you're willing to put in the work to achieve what your goals are. And I think that a lot of people will just make the excuse by telling you can't do something, just to excuse the fact that they can't accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Oh, definitely, because in their mind, it's not possible. Because to them, they've already tried and failed. But because you're still doing it, they want to interject with, oh, you can't do that. Trust me, I'd know. And it's like, you have to maintain the mindset of, no, I do know that you failed, and so I can succeed.
Right. Like, I have failed at hundreds of different things, but I'm never going to go tell someone that they will fail because I tried it and I didn't succeed. I think everybody has a different set of skills, so your timing changes depending on how talented you are at what you're doing.
I think not enough people are brought up to being told that they're going to fail. And I think
why are we...
Yeah, I don't understand why. I think that the biggest problem millennials especially have is that we've all been brought up with you can accomplish anything if you try hard enough, but there's so many of the small details in between there that have been forgotten, which is you're going to fail the first time. That's something new every single time. If it's the first time you're doing something, you are not experienced.
You're probably going to fail the second time, too.
You're probably going to fail as many times as it takes until you're fluent enough to get it right, and that's just what it takes. And I don't understand why that's not taught to people.
I don't understand why we're taught to fear losing, too. Like I've never been in a situation where people aren't terrified of the result of what comes when you lose. No one thinks to take the knowledge that they gain from a loss. They only want to dwell over the fact that they lost, which I understand. Like looking back over what you've done and trying to figure out why you lost. And that's completely different than sitting and dwelling on your loss and just being upset that you lost.
Yeah. I feel like if that just comes down to perspective, you got to change the way you look at things, change the way you look at your losses. Take your L and don't dwell on the fact that it is an L. Dwell on the fact of why you got the L and then fix it for the next time.
Right. Like Gary Vee says, I have losses. I don't win every single time, but I don't respect my L.
It's not your L. It's not anyone else's L. It's mine. It's for me to worry about, not you.
And I think that that's that's hard for people to accept because somebody's going to be in your face telling you that you lost already and that you need to just change your path and come back to what everybody else is doing because you lost already.
Own your losses. I mean, like, for an example, when I talk to someone in network marketing or not in network marketing, but they're aware of it and they said, yeah, I tried it, I don't do it anymore, I look at them way differently than someone who's been in network marketing for 5+ years and has gone nowhere with it, because they're still doing it and they're still learning, they're still taking the initiative.
If I see someone that went into network marketing and may or may not have won,
like what's his name? Who first introduced you to our first network marketing company?
the first guy,
Yeah, what was his name?
his name was Corey.
Okay, so Corey as an example. If Corey had introduced that to you the 5 years ago, and you went back to him now, and he was like, "No, it sucked. I didn't do it," but he's still doing it. He's not the best at it at any means. Like, I mean,
Right.
he's not successful, but 5 years later, he's still making the effort and still rising above every L.
Every day is an L for Corey, but he continues to he
I'm trying
continues to
soften
apply
that,
himself.
but even if every day is an L, as long as you don't get up, I'm going to look at you way better than the guy that took the L and then sat back down.
And as long as you learn every day. See, it's kind of like that saying if it's not working, fix it, you know? Or if
If it ain't broke, don't
it
fix
ain't
it.
broke, don't fix it, but if it is broke, then you probably need to fix it.
And if you don't know how to fix it, you got to learn how. Because that's what entrepreneurs do.
And if you keep
Self-start.
doing the same thing every single day and expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. So it's insane. It's literally insane to continue losing every single day and not change your approach.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my piece of advice. Don't do the same thing every day expecting a different result. That's just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, there's distractions all over this park.
Yeah,
We didn't
there's-
realize how.
There's so many, so active today.
Yeah, if you want to, okay, so if you want to overcome the naysayers, number one thing is to not get distracted by the people behind the camera. That's bad news.
I'm not distracted.
No.
I'm just waiting for him to pass. I wasn't sure if the mic could hear. Anyway.
So yeah, anyway, we had people coming through the shot, and if this is edited in any form, you know why. Okay, so
New topic, or do you want to keep talking about the same
yeah, we can.
coping with adversity?
I feel like people get it. You've seen it everywhere, right? You've seen it. It's become massive over the last 6 months that people are just protesting constantly. Overcome adversity. This is what you need to do,
Mhm.
etc., etc.
Mhm.
So the way I see it is, you guys don't need to hear it anymore. Like, I'm not going to insult your intelligence by continuing to repeat. Don't listen to what other people have to say. You already know it. Just apply it. And if you need motivation to apply it, follow me. I'm the most motivating person on Instagram right now, second to Kolton. You know? So stick around, check out what's going on, and follow that motivation. And we'll move on to a new topic so that we aren't sitting here shoving the same thing down your throat that you're seeing everywhere else.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of a second topic that we can talk about.
I wanted to say something. Well, I actually think I already spilled it off. Well, more techniques for generating revenue today. Or actually, just getting started in social media. That's a great idea.
How to get started in social media?
Because we got questions yesterday after the live broadcast that was like, how are you doing what you're doing? Like, what is it that you, like, what are your goals and what are you accomplishing? And basically, how do I get started? I got a couple of those. I'm sure you got a couple of those in your DM yesterday.
a couple.
And so people were asking, how do I get started? I had somebody say, I want to be an entrepreneur. What's the next step that I do? And I said, go back and watch yesterday's video. But at the same time, getting started in social media can be intimidating, and it can be tough. But you need to just not. Once again,
I think it just depends on what you're trying to achieve with social media.
that's true. You need to lay out goals.
Are you trying to make friends? Are you trying to be an attention center? Are you trying to make money? Like, just there's so many things you can do. You can do them all. The first thing you have to do is just start the growth process.
Right. And I think if your number one goal in social media is to make money, you're going to lose. If your only goal
yeah.
for social media is to make money, you'll lose. You have to be providing people with something of value. You people that have tuned in are only watching this because, look, we're 20 minutes into this broadcast. The only reason that you're still sitting here watching it is because you're obtaining some kind of value from this video. So, or this podcast if you're listening back on audio. The point being, if you're not in it to leave some kind of lasting impression on your viewers, then it's not the platform for you to be involved in the form of business.
You gotta have a purpose. And I think that's why niche marketing is a great place for people to start, like building their brand around their niche,
right,
and conversing with people based around their niche,
right? Because you're only going to be able to build a brand about yourself based on what your interests are, and you're only going to attract people that are interested in the same things that you're interested in. So it doesn't make sense to me to try and build a brand around a variety of different things. You definitely have to identify your niche and isolate to your niche.
Mm-hmm. And I touch on this in the Shopify class I'm working on, which is when you start niche marketing, start with something that you are already, something that's already a hobby to you, something that you're already fluent in and have a really good understanding of, because niche marketing is people who are already interested in that niche. If you're already interested in that hobby and already have a great understanding of it, you're going to be way more successful than someone else who has base knowledge to no knowledge and wants to go into that niche.
Right, and I teach the same thing in my stock classes. I say, you only need to follow 2 stocks at a time, and I want you to focus on 2 stocks that you're already interested in or you have some kind of passion about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I follow Tesla because I am in love with the Tesla concept. The car,
I just like Elon Musk.
But Tesla is his pride and joy baby income generator, and so I follow Tesla as my primary stock, and then I'm a closely affiliated with Valiant Pharmaceuticals as another stock that I've been watching for quite some time. So those are the 2 stocks that I follow regularly, and if you go back through, this is 100% accurate. It's the only thing I post about for the last probably about a year. So yeah, you got to isolate your market, and you got to know, you just have to be confident in what you're doing and stick to it. And if it's working, keep doing it and learn and build off of it. If it's not working, you need to change so that it starts working for you. That's in any investment strategy.
Yeah. And don't do what everyone else is doing. You can take the same concept and you need to remix it. You need to make it your own. You need to add your own spin of individuality on it.
To an extent. If somebody's doing something that's working, you want to remix it, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to go in and copy them verbatim, but you want to essentially do what you are doing.
That's exactly what I'm saying, is remix it, make it your own.
Right.
You can't just be the same as every other niche marketer, niche whatever out there. If you're into makeup, there's a billion other girls on YouTube doing makeup videos right now. What are you going to do that's going to set you apart? Are you going to wear a clown wig while you do it? If you're crazy and weird, do something crazy and weird on it. If you're
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you have to set yourself apart at the same time.
That's the most important part, is being unique enough that people are interested, but at the same time, just like a lot of the other people, that they feel a connection to you, right? The most beautiful thing about social media is that there's already people that have created brands, and you can almost, in a way, make their audience your own audience, in a way.
And there are ways to do that. Through paid marketing.
Oh, definitely through paid marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, organic reach is dead. Kolton said that yesterday.
I did.
You can't really reach the potential. It takes so long to get an organic reach anymore. You used to be able to hit 1 million views overnight, but after all of the regulations that they've made to YouTube,
it's so oversaturated now.
Yeah, there's just so much content.
There's so much content.
Is there 3 lifetimes worth of video on YouTube now? There's just so much stuff that it's impossible to get in on.
And that's why you see whenever there's something viral and you're like, why is there so much content? Even after it's viral, being pushed about the viral topic, it's because it's still of something of relevance, to the point where if you're no one on the internet, if you post about something that's a viral topic, you have a higher chance of being found just based off of search results and other aspects and other everything.
Like the fidget spinner.
Yes.
People are only posting about the fidget spinner anymore because it had relevance, and the relevance is still carrying over into the most popular feeds, the top feeds. And because that was such a huge topic, it's going to take several months for that to drop out of the system, so that you can start hitting back into those top feeds with your natural organic content.
Mm-hmm.
But before that few months is up, there's going to be something else that goes viral because of paid ad campaigns.
And you 100% don't even need to do niche marketing. You don't even have to have your own thing. I've seen people who have risen to the top just based off of following trends and milking trends. If you can follow, if you know what every fidget spinner viral thing is, and you keep up on it the day it happens, you can use that. You can leverage that really well. You just have to know how.
And learning how is the hardest part. Actually, probably the most time-consuming part. Learning how, because you aren't making any progress, so it's hard for you to want to keep applying it. But at the same time, you're not making progress, but at the same time, like, you're over here bringing in all this information, so everything feels like it's taking twice as long. But in reality, like, it might be the shortest period of time that you go, but since there's nothing happening, it just feels really slow. It's like getting involved in being a real estate broker. A lot of people, or insurance broker, getting started is great. It's very entrepreneurial to get started in that business, but it takes years before you've established a clientele where you can continue to count on the income. Mm-hmm. Just the same thing in social media. You can't continue to count on your followers until all of that comes together.
Yeah, and I don't expect it to just happen either. You do. I mean, how many real estate agents? How many houses? Like, what percentage of What percentage of real estate agents don't sell a house?
95% of them fail.
95% of real estate agents never sell a house. There's no guarantee in anything you do.
But that's a respected job.
Right? And it's a very popular job. I've met 3 people in the last 2 years who have left their current jobs to be real estate agents, and I don't know what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Probably not real estate, statistically speaking.
Yeah, that's completely true. Yeah, most people that I've met that went into real estate, once they've gotten their license to be a real estate agent, it's kind of over there. They can't afford to keep going.
Yeah, I had a lady I was working with 2 days ago, and she was a real estate agent. I was consulting with her, and she was just talking about all the expenses of driving to this house and that house, and oh, you don't like this house? Well, let's drive 40 miles to go look at another one, and how much of your day is just consumed with wasted time.
Right?
Of just eating shit from other people, and I would never want to be a real estate agent.
No, that's a hefty one.
Mm-mm.
But everybody has their passion, and if your passion is homes, I encourage you to take a look into it. It's very entrepreneurial, and I respect it 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I would never be a real estate agent just because there's so many other routes and possibilities of income in places
that you
I'd rather do real estate wholesaling than real estate agency.
Right.
And it's higher payout, quicker payout. Apply yourself the same amount, not have to drive and deal with the bullshit from God knows how many people. I mean, there's
business opportunities on every corner, and you just have to find them.
Yeah.
And how do you get started? You just gotta do it. So, well, that was a good one.
I think so.
Thanks for tuning in today, guys. All of you that came live. We didn't have any questions in the blog or in the live stream.
So much of a glare right here. I can't even see the ticker.
Yeah. Me either. But yeah, so not many questions in the live stream. So feel free to leave questions in the comments on YouTube. And
we did start 3.5 hours early today, so
it makes sense. Some of our regular viewers weren't able to attend because of their time zones. Regardless, welcome, or thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next week. We're gonna take the weekend off.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy some nice quiet time while we just grind out more business phone calls. If you guys want to see weekend vlogs, let us know.
Yeah, we're doing a big firework week next week.
Oh yeah,
so,
you guys are gonna want to tune in next week. You're gonna see some crazy stuff happening.
Firework week is next week. Definitely tune in for that. We're doing some big stuff, business and fun.
Mostly fun.
Mostly fun.
A little bit of business.
Business is fun.
It leads. It's profitable fireworks. So you decipher how you want to decipher that.
if you want to tune in next week and learn how you can profit off of fireworks,
Stay right here.
the link is going to be right here.
Yeah, Monday, no, but Tuesday, yes. But still be here Monday because we're going to talk about network marketing again.
Are we?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm excited. All right, guys. Once again, thanks for tuning in live, and we'll catch you guys next week. And we could do like the Do Perfect hat toss thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
My name's Kolton.
I'm Kylan.
This has been the Young Entrepreneur
Good hat
Project.
toss. We're out of here.
Thanks for watching the Young Entrepreneur Project. Remember, guys, we can't do this without you, so don't forget to like, leave a comment on any suggestions or requests, and always subscribe.